Resting high in mountains yonder, the civilization of the Phoenix Crest had lived their lives as they had always done in the progressing years of isolation from the rest of the world. As for its rulers, the proud and mighty King Gastrolite and Queen Larnia watched over their kingdom, wandering through the village square, taking in the scenery of market goods and children playing, a sweet bliss that had existed for many years. But something was soon to interrupt that sweet bliss. A near out-of-breath royal advisor to the king and queen was chasing about the village looking for the two royals. They requested that they follow them to the palace, as apparently there was urgent news in need of their attention. With great speed, they rushed back to the castle. The Phoenix Crest had a division that was tasked with keeping in touch from news from the outside world beyond their mountains. All of this was to ensure that their safety and security wasn't about to be compromised. When they arrived, a worker within the division informed them of the news that apparently, less than 24 hours ago, a planet had completely disappeared from space. When they asked how they knew this, they informed the king and queen that they gained visual access through the satellites above their own planet, which showed the visual footage of the happenings taking place. It is then that Queen Larnia asked a question regarding which planet had disappeared. The room fell silent, as everyone looked at each other with the same expression. One worker then spoke up. While they could not say for sure, at the same time the planet was lost, they lost connection with the planet Vanaheim. Her heart feels like it had been dropped into a hollow abyss with no bottom, as she clutches her hand to her chest, unable to comprehend what she had just heard, and desperately hoping that this was all mere coincidence, and that it would only be a matter of time before they would get confirmation that Vanaheim was all right. Gastrolite sees her distress and quickly orders everyone to return to work and to update them immediately on any new information, as he takes hold of her hand and leads her out of the room. Together, they retreat to the Garden of Serenity, a personal escape within the palace for the king and queen to come for a moment of peace and tranquility. When they arrived, Larnia was all but struggling to contain her feelings. Tears filled the queen's eyes as they slowly fell down her face. The situation did not feel real to her. For an entire planet to vanish was one thing, but with the added pain of it being her home world where she grew up, where her family took care of her, the friends she made, and most importantly, when she eventually got the role of captain to Vanaheim's king and queen's personal vanguard, which eventually became the story of how she met Gastrolite and how it could have disappeared and reduced to little more than rock and ash. Embracing his sorrowful wife, Gastrolite held her tightly in his arms. Larnia then muttered beneath her breath, "Recently, both the king and queen had been experiencing portent visions that foretell of an ill omen that will engulf their world in ash and smoke as all they know and love will perish." Gastrolite tells her that she should not focus on such things right now, to which she asks how could she not? These visions that visit them every night, visions of calamity and death, now with the news of Vanaheim's fall, could it all be chalked up to coincidence? Gastrolite reassures her that it will not come to that. Their kingdom has thrived for centuries, and while he did not dismiss these visions, he did not think that they had a lot of information nor evidence to begin forming such opinions. He also remarks that whoever seeks to reduce their kingdom to rubble and rock and whoever wishes to bring harm to Lamia will not meet such a merciful fate. She smiles as the tears begin to less from her eyes. She thanks him and returns the last remark with a promise of her own. Regaining herself, she asks if he would like to join her on a walk through the garden, to which he accepts. Together, Lamia and Gastrolite wander further into the garden to leave this news behind them for now, and for Lamia to come to terms with the news of her home world's destruction.